How to find a missing measurement from a given prism. This first one, we're given a rectangular prism. Rectangular prisms are very special because you can choose which one is the base, and that only works with rectangular prisms. For this particular problem, I'm going to start by writing down the formula for the surface area so that you can see my strategy. So the surface area is 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter of the base times the height. In the rectangular prism, like I said, we can pick the base. I want you to see that this has an x on the bottom here. If I choose the bottom to be the base, then I'm going to have x in the formula for the area of the base and for the perimeter of the base. And so that's going to make it kind of complicated to work out. Now, if there's a way that I can use the side for the base, and being a rectangular prism I could, if I use the side for the base and the only place that the x will show up would be the height of the prism. So that's how I'm going to work this problem to strategically make it as easy as possible. So in this case, I'm going to use x as the height of the prism, and I'm going to use these sides that I sort of shaded in purple as the bases. So to name it rectangular prism, the formula for the surface area 2b plus ph. Since I chose these sides to be the bases in this case, then capital B is going to be 6 times 8, which is going to be 48. So B is going to be 48, and since that's the base, capital P remembers the perimeter of the base, so 2 sides of 8 and 2 sides of 6, so the perimeter 2 times 6 plus 2 times 8, the perimeter is going to be 28. So plugging this into the formula, 2 times the area of the base, which is 48, plus the perimeter of the base, which is 28, times the height, which I said was going to be x. That's the surface area. So it equals the surface area that they gave me, which is 320. So now we just need to solve this algebraically and find x. So 2 times 48 is 96, plus 28x equals 320. So if we subtract 96 from both sides, I'm going to run out of room here. 28x equals 320 minus 96 is 224. And then divide that by 28. X ends up being 8. So since these others have m for meters, that means that x is 8 meters would be the answer to that one. But that's not the only one I'm going to put in this video. I've also got a couple more. I've got a triangular prism and a cylinder, so let's see if we can get these both into the same video. So for this triangular prism, again with triangular prisms, remember that the triangle is the base. There's 2 triangles in it, everything else is rectangles, and this again is on its side, so the height, which is the distance between the bases, can also refer to it as like the depth of the prism. The height here is x. So I've got a triangular prism. Surface area 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter of the base times the height. So let's calculate some stuff with our base. The area of the base, being a triangle, is going to be 6 times 4 divided by 2. Remember the base times height divided by 2 of the triangle. So that will be 12. So B is 12. And then we need the perimeter of the base. This again is going to require us to find the hypotenuse here, which I'm going to call it C this time because Pythagorean theorem. So 4 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. Remember, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So Pythagorean theorem here. And solving for C gives you 7.21. So the hypotenuse is 7.21. So for the perimeter of that triangular base, we need to add 4 plus 6 plus 7.21, and that'll give me 17.21 for P. So I need to plug this into the formula. So to show my work here, 2 times the area of the base, which is 12, plus the perimeter of the base, which is 17.21, times the height, which is x. That equals the surface area, which in this problem they're telling me is 200. So again, it ends up being just like the last one. We're just going to solve algebraically. 2 times 12 is 24, and then 17.21x equals 200. So subtracting 24, 17.21x equals 176. And then we need to divide by 17.21. X ends up being 10.23 feet. So the answer, 10.23 feet. Sorry, my 10 sort of looks like 16. But that's the triangular prism. And the last one that's going to be on this video is a cylinder. I apologize if you hear my kids in the background. So we've got a cylinder, and so let's name it. Remember, it's just like the prism, it's 2b plus ph, except for being a cylinder, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h is the formula. So sorry, my kids are loud in the background. So, all right, we've got the radius given to us. 8 is r, and then the height is x. So we're going to fill those into the formula. So 2 pi times 8 squared plus 2 pi times 8 times the height of unknown equals to the given surface area, which they tell me is 1,000. So simplifying here, 8 squared is 64. 64 times 2, 128 pi. 2 pi times 8 times x can simplify to 16 pi x equals 1,000 there. So I'm going to have to, at this time, put pi into the calculator. So 128 times pi, and it'll just be easier dealing with decimals. 402.12. 16 pi is 50.27. So subtracting 402.12 from 1,000 is going to give me 597.88. And so that will be equal to 50.27x. And then divide by 50.27 to get x alone at 11.89. So x would be 11.89 centimeters.